The soft music had faded into a distant murmur. The chandelier's golden glow now just a warm mist bleeding into the twilight air. Laughter, once vibrant and celebratory, had dulled to whispers of parting words and clinking glasses. Guests, their cheeks flushed with wine and sentiment, drifted away into the night. And I remained, seated alone at our table, my hands folded, the weight of the evening pressing into my chest like a stone I couldn't quite breathe around. Then she passed by me. Her steps were measured, purposeful. She didn't look at me, not once. Her hand was looped around the arm of her biological father, like he was the unwavering force in her life. He walked tall, pride practically radiating from him, smiling like a man who had been there through it all. But I knew better. This was the same man who had missed birthdays, forgotten school plays, and broken every promise that ever mattered. The man who vanished when things got hard and reappeared only 4 years ago with empty hands and a broken business. And still, she clung to him like he was her savior. Then came her speech. She stood at the front of the room, her hands trembling as she held the microphone. "I want to honor the man who has always been my cornerstone," she said, her eyes soft and shining with gratitude for him. "Thank you, Dad, for showing me what a true father means." The applause was thunderous. It washed over the room like a warm tide. I clapped too, slowly, deliberately, the sound of my own hands painfully loud in the sea of celebration. No one looked my way. No one saw the man who had raised her since she was 8, who sat through late-night emergency room visits, scraped knees, and math homework tears. I had been the one up at 3 a.m. after nightmares, the one signing permission slips, paying for her braces, her therapy, her college tuition. I had been her father in every way that counted, except by blood. And in the end, that was all that mattered to her. Her real father had returned, and history was rewritten overnight. My years were erased by a man who had shown up just in time to walk her down the aisle. The wedding? Paid in full by me. Every flower, every dish, every note of the band's music, bought with the belief that maybe, just maybe, I'd get a moment of acknowledgement. Her mother, my wife, had said, "She's your daughter. She adores you." And so I signed every check, swallowed every hesitation. But after the cake was sliced and the guests gone, the lights dimming to signal the night's end, she approached me. Her white lace gown glowed softly in the low light, her pearls catching the last flickers of the chandeliers. She smiled, handed me an envelope, and said, "This has the final vendor balances." Then she turned and walked away. No thank you, no hug, no father-daughter dance. Just a bill. I stood there, stunned, holding the cost of my own erasure. I didn't go home. I drove into the night, headlights carving a quiet path through the dark, the low hum of the engine, the only sound accompanying my thoughts. Her smile replayed in my mind, but this time it wasn't soft. It was sharp, cold, transactional. The next morning, I called my lawyer. My voice held no tremor, only certainty. I didn't ask, I instructed. Freeze the joint accounts. Stop all payments. I want an audit. Every cent accounted for. Every invoice matched. I knew the financial web better than anyone. My name backed every contract. My credit had built the foundation of that wedding. And now I would unravel it. Within days, the florist who had doubled her prices was hit with a dispute for fraud. The venue? Payment revoked for breach of contract. The band never saw a dime. The makeup artist was left unpaid. One by one, they called, emailed, even showed up at the door. I redirected them all to her. When the lights flickered and died in our home, my wife screamed in frustration. She didn't know I had transferred all utility bills to an account only I controlled. I cut the power myself. They tried to access the savings. It was gone. Moved to a private trust. The joint credit card? Declined. Panic set in like a spreading fire. I moved out into a quiet hotel room. Filed for divorce. The reason? Irreconcilable differences, emotional manipulation, financial exploitation. Every claim supported by receipts, emails, and years of carefully stored records. The house, of course, was mine, purchased years before our marriage. Her name never touched the deed. She came once, eyes red, voice ragged. "No one told you to leave," she whispered. Like that changed anything. "You're being unreasonable." I looked at her then, really looked. The woman I'd once loved had become someone else, unrecognizable beneath the mask of entitlement. "I gave your daughter everything," I said quietly. She gave me an invoice. Within a month, lawsuits flooded in. Vendors filed claims. The venue threatened legal action. Creditors started circling like vultures. I remained silent. She called once. I blocked the number. She emailed. I never read it. She ran it on social media, painting herself as a victim, casting me as a bitter, ungrateful stepfather. Her followers nodded in agreement, oblivious to the truth. But the courts didn't care about hashtags. They cared about facts, about signed contracts, paper trails. Soon, the wedding photos disappeared from her feed. The honeymoon ended early, and her biological father vanished once again. No surprise. He hadn't signed a single check. Just showed up, posed for pictures, soaked in the applause, and disappeared like mist. Now, I sit in a small apartment. Clean, quiet, no pictures on the walls, no footsteps down the hall. But peace hums in the silence, a stillness I hadn't known in years. I hear they're struggling, vendors still knocking, debt piling up. I don't care. I already have my compensation. Distance, silence, and the cold, steady satisfaction of knowing this. I was the one who built their dream, and the one who let it fall apart. I didn't burn their world. I just stopped holding it up